media houses from live streaming the proceedings. The ruling will determine whether Chivumbi is released on bail pending trial, while the decision on live coverage could have wider implications for public access and media reporting of politically sensitive court proceedings. For now, the key issues to watch are whether Chivumbi secures his freedom pending trial and whether the court allows the proceedings to be broadcast live. This is NTV at 1, the news, the facts. I am Priscilla Regina Nalwoga. The Cabinet has approved the acquisition of a 31.98 million euro loan to facilitate the construction of Mbarara Regional Oncology Centre as government moves to expand access to cancer treatment in the country. Also coming up, police together with Chengera Town Council health officials have arrested 2 women on allegations of dumping garbage in a water channel.
It is a crime to dump garbage in ditches.
And dozens of young people have gathered in the town of Ben Godan near the Libyan border to demand that such operations be accelerated after a boat carrying Tunisian migrants sank at the weekend en route to Italy. Good afternoon and welcome to NTV at 1. I am Priscilla Regina Nalwoga. Let's begin. Cabinet has approved the acquisition of a 31.98 million euro loan to facilitate the construction of Mbarara Regional Oncology Centre as the government moves to expand access to cancer treatment, and this is across the country. The decision comes amid a growing cancer burden, with the government reporting 36,000 new cancer cases in 2025 alone. Officials are saying many patients arrive at the Uganda Cancer Institute with advanced stage cancer, and with that making treatment more difficult. Meanwhile, the information minister, that is Kasule Lumumba, told journalists at the Uganda Media Center that plans are also underway to provide fertilizers to coffee farmers in a different development. But let's start with the cancer development.
Cabinet approved a proposal for government to borrow up to 31,980,000 million euros to borrow from the government of the French Republic for the construction and equipping of the Uganda Cancer Institute Mbarara Regional Oncology Centre. Cancer remains a serious public health challenge in Uganda. According to Uganda Cancer Institute statistics for 2025, the country records about 36,000 new cancer cases every year. Yet only 8,764 of those cases reached the Uganda Cancer Institute at Mulago. Even more concerning is that between 80 to 87% of the cancer patients present when the disease is already at an advanced stage, that is stage 3 and stage 4. Finally, Cabinet considered the procurement, supply and distribution of fertilizers to farmers across the country. Through the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, government will distribute fertilizers to farmers in different parts of the country. The intervention is intended to increase production, productivity of strategic crops, and to support beneficiaries under the parish development model. The ministry will work out the detailed implementation arrangements and communicate them to the public, including information on the targeted crops, beneficiary areas, and distribution process.
Elsewhere, for 6 months, a baby born with life-threatening heart defect has known hospital wards more than home. His parents have spent months moving between Lira and Mulago hospitals, struggling to keep him on oxygen while raising money for his treatment. Now, doctors are saying he urgently needs a surgery abroad, an operation expected to cost about 48 million Ugandan shillings, a sum far beyond the family's means.
National Referral Hospital comes with a cost for the family of a 6-month-old baby whose heart condition has kept him on oxygen since he was 1 month old. There is the cost of transport, there are hospital bills, consultations and medicines. And then there is the money that the family must find for an operation doctors say the baby needs urgently.
We stayed there. They started doing an echo results from Lira Regional Referral Hospital. They find the baby is having heart defect.
The child's parents have spent months moving between Lira Regional Referral Hospital and Mulago with little time at home.
We stayed in oxygen. When we are traveling to Mulago, we travel with the oxygen. We are going back with the oxygen. And now they told us to be in Lira Referral because we were not having oxygen at home. So we have been there since at birth. We stayed there, we come to Mulago for the review. We stayed there, we come to Mulago for the review.
The hospital stays have also exposed the family to costs they can hardly manage. On days when they cannot raise money to travel to Mulago, they buy some of the prescribed medicines from pharmacies. Their prolonged stay in hospitals has also made it difficult to earn or look for money. Meanwhile, the other 3 children have been affected. The children have dropped out of school because the family can no longer meet their education expenses. The eldest child was supposed to join Senior 5, but that has not happened. The mother says the family's resources have been consumed by the sick child's treatment and the constant movement between hospitals. Doctors have told them that the baby needs an operation and that it should be done as soon as possible.
Then they refer the baby immediately up to Mulago. That should be managed from Heart Institute. From here, we scan, they confirm. And they tell us that the baby is having heart defect, cannot be operated in Uganda because it is large.
The operation, she says, will have to be done in India at a cost of about 48 million shillings. The child's mother is appealing to members of the public and well-wishers to help her save her child's life.
In fact, as we have been moving up and down and we are not at home, getting money is now difficult. So we are just trying to look people who can at least help us with some money so that we operate the child as soon as possible, as they said so.
She has spent the past months trying to keep the baby breathing while the illness has slowly affected every other part of the family's life.
In other news, police have outlined the categories of people who will be allowed to move during the second edition of the National Cleaning Day scheduled for this Saturday, August 29th, 2026. Police spokesperson Kituma Rusoke says those exempted from the movement restrictions include patients, medical workers, security personnel, tourists and drivers transporting cargo to other countries, among others. However, Rusoka says that those exempted must carry valid documentation proving their status to avoid confrontations with law enforcement officers. Details do follow with Raymond Tamale.
Last month, the government introduced National Cleaning Day, requiring citizens across the country to clean their communities for 4 hours on the last Saturday of every month. During the exercise, movement is restricted except for people taking part in the cleaning exercise or attending to essential duties. However, last month's exercise was marked by disagreements in some areas over who should be allowed to move. Speaking to journalists this morning, police spokesperson Chituma Rusoke said several categories of people will be exempted provided they can prove their status.
So we don't expect somebody going to hospital to be restrained by that temporary restriction. We cannot tell somebody that you will not go to hospital between 7 and 10, no. But there must be a reasonable explanation to tell that somebody is heading to hospital. People thought that when we say medical personnel, we meant only medical doctors. Even a nurse is a medical personnel. So you would find a quarrel as to whether a nurse also should be allowed. But a doctor is assisted by the nurse. This person is working in X-rays and all. But the whole idea is identify yourself and explain. You will be let to go because we understand those exceptions. And carry valid identification documents.
Security personnel will also be exempted, but they must identify themselves and cooperate with the law enforcement officers.
Then, on top of security personnel, as a matter of emphasis, they mean and include private security personnel on duty. On duty. So PSOs are also exempted.
Tourists and drivers transporting cargo to other countries will also be allowed to travel.
Traveling, you are going to the airport. Yeah, these categories also are exempted. Foreign tourists, you are in Windy, you are in Makshon Falls, or you are heading there too, and matters incidental around those circumstances, those would be understandable.
Journalists on duty will also be permitted to move, although they are advised to carry valid identification.
Because you give coverage to this day. Journalists on duty. You don't come and tell us, you see, you may find one who was going to divert to a private activity.
Police say other people with genuine reasons may also be allowed to move, but they must explain their circumstances to officers and avoid confrontations. The second National Cleaning Day is scheduled for this Saturday, the 29th, with the main activities taking place in Shira Municipality. The exercise will run from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Raymond Tamale.
Still looking at law enforcement, police together with Chengira Town Council health officials have arrested 2 women for allegedly dumping garbage in a water channel. The 2 women, who are residents of Kabinja in Buddo, Chengira Town Council, were arrested after they were allegedly caught dumping rubbish in a drainage channel. Now, their arrest follows a viral video showing one of the women throwing rubbish into the channel and appearing to brag about the act.
The arrests followed the circulation of a viral video showing the suspects allegedly dumping rubbish into drainage channels and appearing to boast about their actions. Authorities in Chengira Town Council say indiscriminate dumping of waste is prohibited and offenders face prosecution.
Following their indiscriminate disposal of their garbage in the stormwater channel.
It is a crime to dump garbage in ditches and drainage channels. So we urge you, the community and the entire public, to always be the watchdogs. Because when we dump this garbage into the drainage channels, this garbage ends up in wetlands, in different water sources, which is very dangerous to human health.
We strive to have an iconic town, providing citizen-driven urban services for wealth creation.
Sergeant Victor Kamanzi, the head of operations in the Environmental Police, says the 2 suspects will be charged with littering rubbish, which is against environment laws.
So we followed up the good thing, we got them there, and one of them admitted that he did it. So we got them, we are with them here, we are charging them for waste dumping and for further management.
Now, on to the news of the day today, marking the second day when the Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety started an operation to eliminate commuter taxis that are in dangerous mechanical conditions from the roads. We do have Becca Senyonga Bolinde, who is with Michael Kandanura, the traffic liaison officer, with an update of this operation as of day 2. Good afternoon to you, Becca.
All right, thank you so much, Priscilla, and all the people watching NTV at this particular time. My name is Becca Senyonga Bolinde, and I'm coming live from the Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety. With me, I'll be joined by the spokesperson for the Traffic Police, Afande Michael Kandanura. Fast forward, the main issue as to why we are here is the ongoing operation against the dangerous mechanical condition of those particular vehicles. We saw the operation that started yesterday, and Traffic Police assured us that this operation will be going on for the next 100 days. Now we'll be catching up with Afande Kandanura, and he will be highlighting a few things about the ongoing operation, because we had information that this operation had been halted, but we need to confirm that. A very good afternoon to you, Afande, and welcome to NTV at 1.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon to our viewers out there.
What is the latest about the ongoing operation?
No, we are on ground. Only that I think from the operations of yesterday, I think most of the people have taken these vehicles for repairs, because when I was communicating to them, I told them that they shouldn't wait for us to come and impound these vehicles. They already know what we are looking for, and they know what we want. So I think out of that, people have taken these vehicles for repairs. And if these vehicles are not on the roads, then what are we going to impound? But should any vehicle come on the road that is in that condition that we are looking for, we will still impound this vehicle. So we are on ground, we are there, and we are looking out for these vehicles. If there's any other communication of what you people are here talking about, then we shall communicate it. Like we communicated that we are beginning, then if there's anything, we will still come back and communicate.
In other words, the operation is still ongoing?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So as of yesterday, how many vehicles have you impounded so far?
Yesterday, we impounded 178 vehicles from different divisions, from different regions of Kampala metropolitan area, because we got 63 from KMP South, we got 52 from KMP East, and then KMP North 62.
Okay, so should we expect this operation happening in the night time?
In the night time, it is a bit tricky. We all know that the visibility of our officers, or the deployment of our enforcement, our officers in the night is a bit risky. There's no we can really put, but a few patrols that will be moving around to these vehicles which are really in real bad shape, and then they want to move in the night, taking that opportunity of the thin deployment of our officers, then we will go up, we will take them. And then also to maybe to the public out there, do not wait. You already know what we are looking for. You have all already understood the risk of these vehicles that we use on these roads. Please, if this vehicle is sighted in the night, these people taking the advantage that maybe the deployment is less, do not board these vehicles. Help us also, as we're also helping you.
Okay, the last one from me. From the passengers, one of their cries and the worries is that these are the very vehicles that they've been using for transport to their different places of abode, and now they are stranded. Is there any alternative from Traffic Police maybe, or any advice on what they should use for the meantime?
One, I don't think that every vehicle is a DMC. I saw it yesterday, many people on the roads, but of course they didn't sleep on these roads. They moved. How did they move? They moved. I think the society, the community needs to better know or understand that we have to prioritize safety. Safety, and we have to know that safety begins with you, begins with everyone there. If you cannot just sit into any vehicle that you come across waiting for the enforcement. You may not meet the enforcement. So we'd rather be delayed, we'd rather be inconvenienced than now risking our lives and using these motor vehicles that instead put our lives at stake or at a greater risk of dying in these accidents. So we'd rather be delayed. I'm sure no one has slept on the road, and we are not impounding every vehicle. There are vehicles which meet the standards, and they are moving. And even if they make several trips, but then they are transporting these people. Thank
All right, thank you so much. That has been the spokesperson of the traffic police in the country, Afande Michael Kananura. My name is Becca Senyonga Mlinde. More of these reports will be coming in, of course, in our subsequent bulletins, Akaungezi, NTV Tonight, and of course on our sister TV stations, Agafeyo on Spark TV, and all other platforms of the Nation Media Group, Uganda. Good afternoon.
Senyonga Mlinde for giving us that update. Day one alone had 178 vehicles being impounded by the Uganda police in this 100-day operation. So be mindful as you use and engage with the road. In business, we get to look at Kenya and Tanzania that are intensifying a quiet context to position themselves as East Africa's preferred trade and logistics hubs, investing heavily in ports, railways, and energy infrastructure to serve growing regional markets. Now, while this competition could improve connectivity as well as attract investment, analysts are warning that rivalry not anchored in industrialization and regional integration risks creating costly duplication and undermining cooperation. The competition initially centered on the airports, with Mombasa and Dar es Salaam each seeking to improve efficiency and attract a larger share of regional business. And that's the end of our business brief this afternoon. We'll take a short break. NTV at 1 continues shortly. Do stay with us.
Entrance there and their exit there. This is it.
So where is the building?
Fast, stress-free construction. Get your factory-made buildings in 12 weeks with SafBuild. Order yours now. SafBuild, a quality building solution from Uganda Bati.
Be it work stress, cold and congestion, sun exposure, or long hours of sitting, Amrutanjan Dragon relieves you from all kinds of pain. Dragon Pain Balm, powered with 10 herbs and aroma oils. Back Pain Roll-On, infused with capsaicin for hot action heat therapy. And Roll-On with extra menthol, brings cooling freshness for instant comfort. For fast, effective relief, use the balm at home and the Roll-On on the go. Amrutanjan Dragon, pain experts for over 130 years.
At 23 minutes past 1 o'clock, we get to look at international headlines with a migrant boat tragedy in Tunisia, diplomatic efforts to address Russia's attacks on Ukraine's Black Sea corridor, and a humorous robot mishap at a humanoid robot competition. This is in Beijing. All these making headlines with the details coming up.
Dozens of young people have gathered in a town near the Libyan border to demand that such operations be accelerated after a boat carrying Tunisian migrants sank at the weekend en route to Italy. All of the migrants were from an area in southeastern Tunisia. Protesters threw stones and fireworks and burnt objects in the streets. Police fired tear gas to disperse them. 11 bodies have been recovered by Tunisia's Coast Guard, with 3 others still unaccounted for, the National Guard said. Coast Guard, military and civil protection teams backed by 2 helicopters continue to search for the missing. The boat, which set off early on Thursday with 15, mostly young people on board, sank off the Tunisian coast, and so far only 1 person was rescued alive. Among those on board were 7 members of the same family and a man with his pregnant wife. Elsewhere, President Volodymyr Zelensky says there will be a diplomatic track, with Russia discussing Moscow's stepped-up attacks in the Black Sea that have curbed Ukraine's export capabilities. He said several countries would still be involved in the negotiations and that Ukraine would also strengthen air defenses protecting its Black Sea grain corridor. Zelensky said Russia was attempting to impose a blockade on Ukraine's ports, although 3 or 4 ships a day were still entering and leaving the greater Odessa port hub. Compared with volumes, 3 to 4 times higher before attacks escalated this summer. Speaking at a news conference in Kyiv alongside European leaders, Zelensky also said Ukraine had secured additional military and energy assistance, including funding for drones and air defense systems. European Council President Antonio Costa praised Ukraine's reform efforts despite the war, saying progress towards European Union membership had been very impressive. Finnish President Alexander Stubb called for increased military and financial support for Ukraine, including capabilities for deep strikes, while Zelensky warned that Kyiv needed significantly more funding to expand its drone production.
For more newsworthy developments, you can turn to the hashtag NTV News across our social media platforms, NTV Uganda, as well as our website, www.ntv.co.ug. Thank you so much for being with us on NTV at 1. I am Priscilla Regina Nalwoga. Have an impactful and warm afternoon.
Manyera bikina vipers are go wangu.